Welcome to this morning time taste challenge. It's nighttime, really. Dawn, it's morning, AM, but it's no dawn yet. All right, I have two 40% alcohol Canadian blended whiskeys, both bottled in Kentucky by I.W.A. Distilling Company Limited for Walmart. It appears. I know Calibers for Walmart. They own the trademark. Master Distillers Selection. It appears it's for Walmart. I can't definitively say that, but I get that impression. But I'm putting Walmart, if I'm wrong later, I'll change it. It won't let me put a thumbnail of these. I don't know why it used to say edit thumbnail, but I don't know why they keep changing their settings. Get my glasses correct. Now, the caliber says Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. And Sazerac's pretty good about telling you if they're adding flavoring. Spilled a little bit of it. I have to clean that up in a moment. These things pour out real fast, so you got to watch that. Now, this new one, is called Master Distillers Selection, or Master Distillers, and it has a real wooden cap, a real cork. It's not a rubber cork or anything, it's real cork. And this was introduced only in 2025, and I noticed they've been expanding the selection. They have a Canadian blended whiskey. They have two tequilas. They're only showing one on their website, but that's a mistake. They have two, a Reposado and an Añejo now. They have a vodka, a Kentucky straight bourbon from Barton 1792 Distillery. So they're expanding. I had to put the kitten out because she was not behaving. I'll let her in, but I know she's gonna get kicked out again. She just goes crazy. So no, not now. Let's see what they're showing for Canadian whiskey. All right, here we go. I'll let her in, but I know it's gonna be a bad. Come on. If you get up on this towel and you rest, it'll be okay. If you're going wild, it's not going to be okay. Get up here. No, I didn't mean to get up here and play. I mean, and then she's going to want to knock the bottle down. Don't knock the bottle down. So let's do a screen share. There's the Canadian whiskeys. You can see Master Distillers only $14.96, Caliber $11.98 for a handle, so it's a much better value, assuming the flavor's good. Crown Royal Reserve, aged 12 years. They've updated that one. Crown Royal Special. You want to get put out again? I have that 12 years. I haven't opened it yet. That's going to be on the next go around with Canadian whiskey. Get down off my blue jeans. And then all the other usuals: Black Velvet, Canadian Club, Canadian Mist. I don't know why they got it so expensive now. It's not a premier product. Black Velvet. I'm sure you recognize all of these. Of course, the famous VO, which to me is overpriced on that. Crown Royal, $45 now. That's a good deal for Crown Royal, big handle. Pendleton, I've heard about it for years, but I've never had it. Then Crown Royal XO, and then there's this new Canadian Club blackberry flavored. They had to do that because of Crown Royal's blackberry, 'Blackberry', which I thought was kind of bland. 'Blackberry', 45 now. That's a good deal for Crown Royal, big handle. Pendleton, I've heard about it for years, but I've never had it. Then Crown Royal XO, and then there's this new Canadian Club blackberry flavored. They had to do that because of Crown Royal's blackberry, which I thought was kind of bland. Come on. Yeah, that's where you need to be. Up there and out of the way. They're saying Master Distillers is from Collingwood Distillery, which is one of the two distilleries Sazerac owns in Canada. Also, Old Montreal Distillery in Quebec. There's Danny Kahn, although you notice he's wearing a Barton 1792 shirt, so he must have got transferred up to Canada. He's the master distiller now at Collingwood, and you can see all the barrels in the background. You want to come sit on my lap? I know that would be a great idea. They say this is ideal for elevating cocktails, but they also say down somewhere else that it's perfect for down here. Perfect. Now you know perfect means flawless. You can't get any perfect heat, enjoying over ice or mixing into classic cocktails. Well, there's only 3 ways you can drink whiskey: neat, on ice, or in a cocktail. There's no fourth way. She discovered in our cans, she could knock the cans over, and that's becoming a real issue, as you can tell. I'm gonna have to deal with that. All right, well, I gave you a chance. You didn't want to listen. So therefore, I'm gonna put you out the room, and you can cry and make a lair. All right, come on, let's go. I'm not gonna let you knock over my Falstaff stuff. Get away! Oh well, now I got a big cleanup. We'll do that later. Going out of here. Come on. Wipe up this little. I'll be right back, folks. Get back from that door. Driving me crazy. All right, so let's look at the they have an updated label now. They updated it last year, a little sharper looking label. I got the older label, Master Blended. Now, know what they say about this one. On the rocks, sipping, chilled, or enjoying in your favorite cocktail. And if you go all the details, enjoy this 80 proof whiskey as a smooth whiskey, chilled, or enjoy neat. Although the name is perfect. Okay, good. Used to say that, I think. So they used to say Sazerac Company on there, but they try to distance it from that. Sazerac might have told them just keep it I.W.A. Distilling. Oh yeah, there's Stedman Select. There's one from Barton 1792 Distillery. Get away from the cans. Let's see, Master Selection. Let me see real fast. Master Distillers, I mean. If you see this bourbon, here's the bourbon. That's interesting. Small batch. Yeah, everything's small batch. It's weird, though. Stop it. It's weird because they're showing Danny Kahn distilleries. He works in Kentucky and Canada. That seems hard to believe. Composed by Master. Well, he might go back and forth between the two. I guess that's right. That maybe he goes to both distilleries and helps create the products. All right, that could make sense. Well, there you go. So I'm gonna have to check that out when I go to Walmart. Oh yeah, from Barton 1792 Distillery. It's very clearly said stated on the bottle, and they show the distillery. And I've been there. I took a tour once. They don't give tours anymore, but they used to, and it was a great tour. And because in all the barrel houses and the distillery, and showed us how they unloaded the corn. And you, all right. So wouldn't have discovered those cans that she could knock over because she's obsessed with that now. All right. Ow, ow. Let's see. Appearance. Maybe the Master Distillers is slightly more copper, but they're pretty close. Amber, they're pretty close. Not a whole lot of difference between the two. Get back from the cans. Come here. Look what you did. I got all these cans displayed. They look nice. And here you are messing up my display. This is a joke. These cans go back 30 years, 31 years for one of them. Oh, no, 30. I got it in 1996. That's right. I'm going to let you mess up 30-year-old cans? Are you crazy? Here, play with your box. You like playing with more box? Then I got to put up these comic books because February's on the way. And I've got all this. These are from January 1976. January 1976, 86, 96, 2006, 2016. I know it's the glare. But I got to put up the February. February 76, 86, 90. I think I have next month. I have a March 1966 Batman that I can put up. I don't have a straight run though. It only starts in 68. Now, you behaved so well last night when I was sleeping. Why did you have to go crazy? I think I'll be able to tell them apart. And the reason being, the caliber has this is the old label. See the old label with the crown on it? King Charles III. Well, this was for Queen Elizabeth when I bought it. King Charles III, King of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica, Bermuda Islands, Turks and Caicos Islands, and other realms and territories around the world. This one does not say flavoring added, so I'm assuming it does not have flavoring added. This, because Sazerac's good about that. If they add flavoring, they'll tell you. Although it's not required. Canadian whiskey is allowed to have flavoring added, and they're not required to tell you if they add it. But it's kind of a nice courtesy for them to do that. All right, smells like cereal grain, which makes sense because it's probably mostly corn, probably 80% corn, 15% rye, 5% malted barley. It's a total guess, but sounds about right. All right, so aromas are even. Not much difference on aroma. Big difference in price. Huge difference in price. $14.96 for a regular bottle. Glass. Looks nice. Real cork. Real wood. Still cheap. $11.96 for a handle. You get an extra 1,000 milliliters. Something to consider. Yes, they got the purple and the gold. And the new label's purple and gold, kind of mimicking, you know, a certain Canadian whiskey which uses purple and gold and has a crown on it. All right. Which is the #1 selling whiskey of any type in Louisiana, I might add. And I think even in the United States. I know a few years ago, Crown Royal became #1. I don't know if that changed. Certainly in the top 3. Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Crown Royal, that's your big 3. Whether you like them or not, that's different. The fact is they're big 3 sellers. Taste time. Sweet corn. Actually, a little barrel char. That's strange. Maybe I'm imagining that. Maybe it's a dream. Over here. All right. That's Canadian, caliber Canadian. And the reason I believe that, it tastes like it's got that flavoring, that nut oil, walnut oil, or almond extract. Well, those are natural flavors, so they could add that. I was reading the Canadian regulations. They didn't specify what the natural flavors could be. It's wide open. It's open to imagination. Now, but there is a caveat. It said the whiskey must have the aroma, flavor, and character generally associated with Canadian whiskey, whatever that means, but that's what it says. Must have the flavor and aroma, and I think they said character, generally associated with Canadian whiskey. I can check. Let's see, Canadian whiskey regulations. I know they were updated. Okay. Government of Canada. But that's not, let's see. Hmm. Well, can't seem to find it, which is strange. Labeling requirements. Oh, let's see. Let's see about that. Labeling requirements for Canadian. Hmm. Okay, let's look at this for a minute. This is Canada. This is a publication, like a little brochure. Made with the finest ingredients the land can offer, Canadian distilled spirits from whiskey to liqueurs are the world's best, or among the world's best. First Canadian distillery founded in Quebec City in 1769. The most famous of all our distilled spirits is our Canadian whiskey. It's the only spirit whose origin and production techniques are protected by the law. Whiskey is appellation protected, which means this means if it says whiskey on the bottle, you know it comes from Canada. What makes Canadian whiskey distinctive? It's partly our careful choice of water, which must contain the right amount of minerals. It's also because of the carefully chosen corn and internationally recognized malting barley that our distillers use. Above all, though, it's the rye included in the blend that gives Canadian whiskey its distinctive character. The grain's flavors, Canadian British Commonwealth spelling, flavors, it's the flavor in US, meld with the sweet vanillins from the charred oak barrels in which the spirit is aged, although they might be used barrels, probably are. And after a minimum of 3 years in the cask, into one of the smoothest whiskeys in the world. They don't have Her Majesty Queen in Right of Canada 2011. That's old. That's an old brochure. That's not helping me. Select Club whiskey, which I have some of that. What makes whiskey Canadian? Another important aspect of Canadian whiskey is that it can contain 9.09 or less of color, flavoring, and other spirit as long as it's been aged at least 2 years. Now, I think they dropped that 9.0 rule, but I have to go research later if I get the chance on today's regulations. By blending in other spirits, Canadian distillers can experiment with all kind of flavors, making Canadian whiskey the most unique type on the market. Wine and rum or sherry is blended in. Yeah. When I read the regulation, it just said natural flavors, didn't specify. But sherry, now if you use sherry, that would give it a nutty flavor, like an almonds. If you ever try cream almonds, it's a weird kind of wine. Standard Canadian whiskey, very much like Crown Royal, and I think they're trying to play off of Crown Royal. Maybe one of their people used to work there and kind of told them this is how they make it. Although I think that's kind of common knowledge how Crown Royal is made. Although Crown Royal claims they use 50 different whiskeys in their blend, 50 different whiskeys. I believe it, but yeah, it's got that flavoring thing. It tastes good. I mean, what do people say about Caliber Canadian. Good morning to you, viewer. Let's see real fast. I'm going to call it though. This is Canadian Caliber. Got it. I got it, but I knew I would. They're both getting high scores. Caliber actually gets a higher score than Master Distillers, but Master Distillers 5 reviews just came out. Caliber's got 167 reviews. I could write a review on Walmart, just make an account, and if you don't say stupid enough, if you use good sense, they'll let it stay up. It gets a 90. 90. Oh, no reviews yet. No written reviews. They just do like tap where they check in a score. So I guess you don't have to write a review. You can check in a score. But 74% of the tasters, 124.67, scored it 5 stars. Perfect. Now that's a little extreme. Maybe Walmart liquor shoppers are not that picky, because that's a little high. But that's what they're saying. I see this stuff in stock like crazy over at Walmart. They've got a big shelf of it. Bottles, the regular size bottles. I'm telling you, Caliber is so popular. I'm talking about in this town. Not a wealthy town, got a lot of people that don't have money. But Louisiana, not a wealthy state. Louisiana, Mississippi, not wealthy. But I did not buy this at Walmart. Strangely, I bought it at Rouse's, which is not affiliated with Walmart. I was in Rouse's years ago, and in their liquor section, I was shocked because they had 2 of these bottles. 2, maybe they had more than 2, but I bought 2. But it was 2 for $10, and I was like, that's got to be a mistake. I got to go see if this is going to ring up. 2 bottles for $10. The girl was ringing it up wrong, and I told her, I said, it's not 2 for $5. She was ringing it up 2 for $5. I said, it's $5 each, 2 for $10. Oh, she still seemed confused. So she rang it up 10. I said, okay, $10 plus tax. I never bought whiskey that cheap, a handle for $5. But how did Rouse's get a hold of the bottle? This I don't know. If it's a Walmart brand, unless Walmart had too much of it and they signed off to let it go overflow and told the distiller you could sell it to other people if you want to. I have seen other Walmart brands at independent liquor stores over the years. I have seen other private labels that were at liquor stores. So I've read articles where they say they could sign off on it. They can make a release that they'll sell it at other places. So anyway, I still have another bottle full, never opened. So this is going to last like a lifetime. Master Distillers, I would say 90 out of 100, maybe higher. I wouldn't go lower. It's really masterfully distilled and blended. I guess Danny Kahn works at both distilleries. He's back and forth on the plane. You say they ought to start doing single malt in Canada, single malt whiskey. Well, to tell you the truth, they do. There's a new Crown Royal product. I see it in the store. It's called Crown Royal Single. Well, of course, all they're doing there is taking the malt whiskey that they use in Crown Royal and they're selling it by itself. So they're taking a piece of the blend, they're selling it alone as Crown Royal Single Malt. Now, they might use different malt whiskeys, you understand, in that blend. But could be interesting, trying to go up against single malt Scotch. I don't know if it's any good. I never had it. I cannot So I don't know. The price is not high. You know, it's like 40 something dollars. That's really not bad for malt whiskey. So it's tempting, you know, it's tempting to try it. But I do have the Royal 12-year age special reserve, the new reserve. So I'm hot to try that one next. Really. All right. So you finally wore yourself out. The kitten is totally worn out. You went so crazy. She was running back and forth through the house, like from one end to the other. Whoom, whoom. Total wildness. But she gets to where she gets exhausted, and then it's just crash out. Caliber. Does it have redeeming value? It does. It does. It almost has like a licorice flavor, like black licorice, and a lot of viewers would be like, "Oh, yuck." Yeah, I like licorice, but it does also taste a whole lot like Canadian Limited, Rich and Rare. It tastes a lot like Grand Legacy, James Fox, Canadian Crest. The Northern Lights, all of which are from the same company, Sazerac, whatever alias name they're using, Fleischmann Distilling, Barton Brands, I.W.A. Distilling, the Founders Company, Legacy Distillings, all Sazerac, Wide World Importers. Oh, yeah, the Winn-Dixie Canadian whiskey. I got to bring that into this challenge. I've got to find that. Where did I put it? Could it be the same whiskey that they're repackaging? To me, I think that might be what's going on, but I can't prove it. You know, is that illegal to do that? I don't know about the law. I'm not a lawyer. I haven't researched Canadian branding laws, but it's a little weird, you know. But anyway, I think I've had enough Sazerac Canadian whiskey with natural flavors in my life, but I got to go look for that Winn-Dixie one. It's got to be somewhere in this house. I put it somewhere. I got so many whiskeys, I start losing track. But I'm gonna track it down. Anyway, caliber, I'll give it a B, like an 87 out of 100. It's good, but it's not amazing. But then what do you expect? $11.96 for a huge bottle. You don't expect it to be amazing. You just expect it to be serviceable. And it's most certainly serviceable. I can see why it flies off the shelves. I see why they have trouble keeping it stocked. It just, you go there Sunday morning, it's almost empty. Go there Monday, it's full again. You know, Saturday night, people are buying whiskey. And it just goes down and they fill it back and it just stays full. Of course, Crown Royal's the same. They sell it like crazy over there. Jack Daniel's always full. Jim Beam, you know, the typical usual suspects. Evan Williams usually full. You get these sort of strange brands. Well, yeah, this is strange too, I guess, but it's cheap, so people buy it. But once they try it, they like it, so they keep buying it. You see, boom, 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 just keep buying it. Okay. It's the money that matters, really. You know, that's what counts. You could say, oh, I don't like the way they... I get that. You don't like the adding flavoring. I understand. I'm not really keen on that idea either. But if it's making the money, they don't care if you're worrying about it. They care if it's selling. How do you feel on letting liquor age in plastic? I'm not in love with that idea either, but I haven't had trouble with it, except putting it in the freezer. I put it in the freezer. After about a week, it started tasting like plastic. I was like, nah. That cold air is starting to do something. But otherwise, at room temperature, I don't think it's affecting it. I haven't noticed. And I think the PET industry has got it down to where they can do it and it's not going to be a problem. Because if it's a problem, people are not going to buy it, right? If everybody's drinking it and it tastes like plastic, the sales will go to zero almost overnight. But it hasn't affected it. I even saw Johnny Walker Red Label in a plastic bottle recently. Somebody found one at the Navy commissary. He's in the Navy Reserves. He's older, you know, his 50s. You could stay in that for a long time. But he he gets a super discount on these liquors in Belle Chase at the Naval Air Station. And he found Crown Royal in a plastic bottle. And I said, whoa, what a shock. Usually it's in glass, always in glass. But he said, not Crown Royal, Johnny Walker Red Label. I said, Johnny Walker Red Label in plastic. Sure enough, it said on the label, shatterproof plastic. I was like, oh man, what is the world coming to? All right. Well, y'all take care. Tomorrow, Friday, plan to do another Canadian Taste Challenge. Obviously, what I'm working with right now is Master Distillers, so I'm going to do that against another. I got to go look for that Winn-Dixie. I know I have it, and no way I drank all of that. So I'm going to bring in the Winn-Dixie, soon to depart Louisiana, so to be a moot point for my state. But my Winn-Dixie's still open, but not for long. But I did buy it there to keep $16.99. No. Retraction. I think it was $12.99 on sale. $12.99 for a handle. Amazing, but true story. All right, y'all take care now. And I went there last week. I went to Winn-Dixie last week. I was looking at their liquor section. They had all their brands, all from Sazerac too, by the way. The vodka, the 100-proof vodka, the gin, the Canadian whiskey, the Scotch. Oh, don't buy that one. I'm telling you now, don't buy that one. And the bourbon, well, you could buy that one. That's all right. From Buffalo Trace, but they're not putting their name on it. And the price was so low. Oh, so very low. $15.99 for a handle of Kentucky bourbon. I'm serious about this. All right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye, everybody.